Hello, and welcome to the second tutorial video for the Women's Stats database. This tutorial will explain how to use the Codebook, which then enables you to retrieve information from the database. To access the Codebook from the Women's Stats homepage, click the Click to View Codebook button in the middle of the screen. Welcome to the Codebook. In order to be able to retrieve information you are looking for from the database, you must understand how to use the Codebook. This guide categorizes the topics we research in 350 items we call variables. We organize our 350 variables in categories that correspond to different dimensions of women's security. We will bypass the first section, multivariate skills, for a moment and look at our single variable section. These 9 categories of women's security in blue cover issues such as physical security, economic security, maternal security, and others. Expanding each of these reveals a new layer. Some of these variables contain subcategories highlighted in pink. Expanding women's physical security, we see a pink layer with categories of health and violence. Clicking on health will reveal our health variable clusters in dark gray. These include things such as differential access to health care for men and women, female genital mutilation, caloric intake, and so forth. Notice there is an acronym associated with each variable cluster in black text. We call these acronyms codes. For example, for infibulation female genital mutilation, the code is INFIB. Take note of that acronym. Clicking on infibulation female genital mutilation will take you to the actual variables we code. These are in light gray. To repeat, once you get to the light gray level of the codebook, you are viewing the actual variables we code and which you can view in the database. Each variable cluster, such as INFIB, always separates into at least 3 main types of actual variables: practice, law, and data. We also have a scale included as well under INFIB. Law variables actually represent what government laws or customary laws are present in a country about the phenomenon. Here you can also find changes to or laws that are being created by the estate in regards to that topic. Also found in the law variables are usually what are the prescribed methods of enforcement for the law if there are any. Think of law variables of what should be happening in the country as per the laws in that nation. Practice variables, on the other hand, document what is actually happening to the women of that nation, which may be quite different from the law. Included in practice variables are social practices, norms, and societal trends that affect the treatment of women, as well as women's experiences. Many times the laws of the nation do not reflect the actual security of the women in that nation because the laws are not secured or enforced properly. Unfortunately, there are even cases where there are no laws that provide for the security of women in a nation. Therefore, practice variables are necessary to reveal the actual situation of women in that nation. Most law and practice variables contain qualitative textual data. Data variables contain the quantitative data for each category. You can find quasi-quantitative data as well, such as an indication that female genital mutilation is widespread within a country. Whenever you see a scale variable, that means that the Women's Stats researchers have provided a unique contribution through our own coding of the variables, resulting in ordinal rankings of how a country stacks up in comparison to other countries of the world concerning the phenomenon. Less frequently, we may also have interval level scales. So, for example, we have 2 scales for INFIB. One is ordinal, scale 1, and one is interval, scale 2. Most of these scales are also mapped. The Codebook offers a few useful functions. One useful tool is the Expand All function. Clicking Expand All will expand all of the variables in every category. This function is useful when you are searching for a specific variable. After clicking Expand All, you can do so by hitting Ctrl F on your keyboard or Command F for Apple computers. Then you type the acronym or certain keywords related to the variable you are looking for. Another useful tool is the RSS button that you will find next to every variable. The RSS tool keeps you updated as new data becomes available for the variable you are interested in. For example, if I want to be updated on research about FGM, I go to the FGM variable and click on the RSS button next to it. Clicking on this button will add the latest data points to my browser's subscription feed, as you can see here. Clicking on any of these links will give you direct access to the data points in the database. The Use tool is a tool that is very useful when doing research in the database. We will discuss this tool in the next tutorial video. Thank you for watching this tutorial. In the next tutorial video, we will discuss how to access and view the data.